Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming in tonight and checking out the live chat I'm going to do. I'm just going to talk briefly about estimating time for cutting lawns, from cutting the grass to edging it, trimming it, and cleaning up. This should give you a ballpark idea. Also, you need to know the number you're going to charge per hour or what you're hoping to get. Because if you're using some of the equipment that I'm going to talk about in the beginning, you can't say you're going to make $70 or $80 an hour. I don't think it's possible, but maybe the prices are higher where you live. You might get close. So we'll jump right into it. When I'm going to talk about the video tonight too, if for some reason you're not interested in a little section I'm talking in about, just forward it another couple minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, and I'll be on to the next section. So I'm going to start with the smallest mowers and go up to the medium-sized mowers, onto the zero-turn riders. So right here is a lawnmower I don't use no more. It's a 21-inch push mower. Some people call it a 22-inch. I can recommend, you're going to have to get to know your equipment and how fast it works. I would say if you could cut 1.5 customers per hour with this particular unit, you should be doing good. Because starting out in the morning, it's going to be a little bit slower because it'll be wet. And in the afternoon, you should make some time. And towards the end of the day, unless you get tired out, you should make really good time in regards to knocking off, like, say, 5 minutes of cutting time per lawn. So all I can say about this mower in particular, I'm not saying Toro, I'm just talking about a 21 or a 22-inch push mower, is that the first 10 weeks are really going to be tough. This lawnmower is going to bog down because the grass is going to be growing exceptionally fast and might even be extra thick. You don't want to bag it because you'll have too much grass to bag. The only time I would bag a lawn is if I had an in-ground swimming pool customer. That'd be the only time, because when you get grass clippings blowing to the top of an in-ground pool, it looks terrible. You could grab the skimmer and try to clean it up, but you never get all the grass clippings off. When the homeowner comes home, it looks disappointing, especially if they don't have the filter running. So I would say 1.5 customers per hour with this. If you charge $30 an hour, well, you should hopefully make $45 then per hour off this piece of equipment. So say if it took you 20 minutes to cut the lawn, it's going to take you maybe 5 to 10 minutes to trim. Also another 5 minutes to do edging with your trimmer, just flipping it upside down. And then another 10 minutes for cleanup. Be advised, in the beginning of the season, these little tires are going to track. They're going to leave little rows of lines of grass behind them, the width of the tire. You could either blow it if you got a strong enough blower, or you might have to do a little bit of raking. You definitely don't want to recut it twice, though. So like I said, if you could get 1.5 lawns per hour, you might get 1.5 the first hour, maybe 1.5 the second hour, maybe the third hour, you might get 2. And then maybe the fourth hour, you might get 2. Maybe the fifth hour, you're getting tired, so you get 1. So you got to kind of figure out at your own pace what you're going to do. But with these yards, I wouldn't tackle super big yards with them unless it's all you got to use. But I'm just talking about for one person. So even though it's just you cutting the grass, so everything's going to fall back on you. And I would say, like I said, 20 minutes to cut, 10 minutes to trim, 5 minutes to edge, and then 10 minutes to clean up. So we'll jump on. We'll go to the next size mower that you guys might have or thinking about purchasing. I show Toro stuff. I truly believe in Toro or Exmark. That's what I made a lot of money with. I made my living off of it. So right here is a mid-size. If you could afford to get one that's a hydro, that'd be the way to go. Most of the time, with the budget cutting I'm trying to show you, it's just going to be a belt-driven one. So just pay attention to your belts. The belts are so much like a car. Serpentine belt. You can see how they get worn out if you look it over closely. This particular unit, if I had one, I'm not saying this big. I'm saying a 36-inch mower right here. I would say I would shoot for to get 2.5 customers or 2.5 lawns done in an hour. And like I said, in the beginning, what the season is going to be a little tough, so you're gonna have to slow everything down. I could teach you guys how to hide the grass with it. This particular unit right here, a 36 inch, even though this is a 48, I'm showing you. I'll learn you how to do that. So with this, I would try to shoot for 2.5. So say 2.5. You possibly could get $75 an hour with this machine. And like I said, sometimes you might get 2.5 an hour. It dries a little bit. You might get to 3 lawns per hour. Hey, Drew. Yes, I'm live. If you want to jump in, I got that stream up there at the top. I learned off you from this weekend. So feel free to drop in. I'm not going to be on too long. I'm just giving some ideas on time maintenance for cutting grass. I saw that you were just did a video I didn't watch yet about your snow plowing or your de-icer. So I got to check it out. I saw it was up there, but I'm finishing up tonight doing chores, and I was invited to a neighbor's hockey game across the street. So I'm playing catch up. But anyways, if you cut 2.5, if you cut 2.5 of these lawns, okay, Drew, you should be on there. I see you.
Mm-hmm. How you doing?
2.5 lawns per hour. Say this lawnmower on the same size property versus the 21, you should be able to get a cut hopefully in 15 minutes or a little less than that. And you're still going to spend 10 minutes trimming. You're also going to spend possibly 5 minutes edging with your trimmer, flipping it upside down, and then 10 minutes or so cleaning up. So like I said, I would recommend getting 2.5, and then sometimes you get 3 per hour.
Mm-hmm.
Way to go. If it's the only machine you're going to get, try to get a 36 inch because hopefully to do everything. Some people are going to say, it's not the right mower, but I'm trying to teach you just to get away with one mower if you can. It's a lot easier in the morning loading up. So this is a good choice here in regards to getting it done. They got a nice deck design, super flow system, and it hides the grass very well. Drew, I'm talking about Toros because I got pictures of Toros from my magazine brochures. Tom, comments on it or thoughts? Let me know what you're thinking. Go ahead if you want to say.
Well, everybody, walk behinds are a great starter mower, or even if you are in the business for a long time, they're great for when yards are extremely wet. You will not rut things up. And some people are very particular about their yards. They would rather have a lighter mower. So that is the key. You always got to make sure you keep up on your maintenance and your sharp blades, and you will have a yard looking its best every week if you can keep up with that stuff.
Yes, I do agree, especially when it comes to rutting up lawns, or I just call them brown streaks you leave. They dry. The customer doesn't understand that. One time back in the day, I had a helper, and I had a 36-inch right stander, and he cut an extra wet backyard. It was so funny. When he got done, it was just stripes, 3-foot stripes everywhere on the whole lawn. The homeowner wasn't too happy, but unfortunately, I talked to her and I cooled her down, and so she got over it. So this is the next step up. But like I said, you might have to start the small mower I showed because you only use what you got, you can afford, but it'll get the job done. It's just going to take a little bit longer. So I'm going to jump off of this one. How's the weather by you, Drew? It's pretty crappy up here. It's been cold the last 2 days, and super wind chill has been really bad.
Yeah, it's got really cold. It's going to get really nice, though, on Wednesday. It's going to be almost like 70 degrees on Wednesday, so that'll be nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. I lucked out. I didn't have to snowplow, so I was happy about that.
I had to throw down a little bit of salt earlier today.
Yeah, I never got into the salt game because I didn't want to get extra waivers, and I thought it'd be just too much work. So, and honestly, I didn't know how to price the salt either, so I just stayed away from it because there's not many places. Well, now there is that sell bulk salt. And in regards to the bulk salt, you go to a local hardware store and buy the bag salt so it wouldn't freeze up on you. And it was like, $5 or $6 a bag. So it was pretty expensive. And if you bought the pallet and you had to store it, you had to unload it. So I chickened out on that. So right here, I'm going to show you guys. This is the lawnmower number 3 that I got. If you could jump up to this and start out and cut your grass, it gets the job done. I would say you could get 3 done in an hour. I'm just talking about residential yards, nothing big, no commercial work. or larger property lots. But this will get the larger property lots done too. It cuts maybe about 3.5 to 4 acres an hour. There's a little chart in my book. I took a picture of it, but it didn't come out telling you how much you could cut per hour. But this one machine, it's a little heavy. It does a great job of cutting. And I'll make a video telling that if you get stuck with this machine, I'll just shut it off instantly, stop immediately, don't keep spinning the tires. On the springtime, I take with me a 4x4 board, put one, and I put it in the back of the truck. So if I get stuck, I can push it up on myself. I just put it underneath the back rear end. There's 2 hydraulic dumps on the bottom that are easy to get, but you got to lay in the mud to get to them. And once you push it out of the rut, just start the engine up and let it idle slowly and just drive yourself right out. And hopefully you'll get out and you'll just deal with the problem the next week or the couple weeks down the line, fixing it. And sometimes you get lucky. You could run it over a couple of times when it dries out and it looks good. But in particular, if you had this mower, say, in my area, I could get 3 lawns done in the springtime. When it dries out and starts getting warmer, I could possibly get almost 4. So, 1 hour I might cut 3. The next hour I might cut 4. The next hour I might slack a little bit and only get 2 done, talking to a customer or whatever on the phone for some reason. But this is the way to go if you could afford it. But like I said, I'm just trying to point you in the right direction. I know that it might be late for some guys. Some guys are already cutting. I finally seen a couple guys in my area cleaning little leaves up right now, but those are the bigger boys that got employees, so they need to be out there working to pay their guys to stay with them. That's why they're out there in the cold. I'm getting old now. I'm getting soft, so I kind of pass on all those jobs until it gets warm enough. But then again, I just got to pay myself, and I budget all my money to get through the winter. So what's your thoughts on that, Drew?
Absolutely. Guys, even when you're starting off, or even if you're like, say, me or your situation, however many you have at the moment, communication is key with your customers. If you go to that yard, say next week, and it's raining and it's going to rain all the following week, just talk to your customers. Sometimes you have to cut it, and it is what it is. You will get some brown tracks or so, but just talk with them. That's all you got to do. And they would rather you tell them what's going on rather than you just go and do. That mower is a phenomenal mower as well. I had a sit-down mower for a while. I graduated to a different kind of mower at this time, which it's that color right there, but it's not that mower, and it'll do you well.
Yes, most definitely. I agree with you 100%. It doesn't matter, if it's a Toro or an X-Mark, whatever you're comfortable with, as long as it gets the job done. You don't have to get up in the morning and put air in the tires and fix the belt because the belt keeps popping off. I'm just too old to play those games anymore. When I was younger, I didn't mind, messing around for a couple minutes each day. But now I just want to get out, do what I got to get done, and just get home and relax the rest of the afternoon. One other thing I was thinking about, Drew, you might agree or disagree. If you're a smaller business in regards to cutting, and especially with the smaller mowers, because there's not enough horsepower for the actual deck size, like on the push mowers, so they'll bog out and stall. If you could start a little bit later in the morning, like say start at 10 or 11, but you're gonna have to work later in the evening, so it's something that you got to give up between the two. What you want to accomplish. But I know myself, I want to get up in the morning and get them done as soon as possible, so I'm home for the evening. But it's a give and take, and then after the first 10 or 12 weeks, everything starts to calm down, and it just goes like bread and butter. In the last 10 weeks, you got to start dealing with the leaves, but it's okay because it's getting to the end of the season. It's starting to cool down a little bit, so you might be burned out, but that's also an option too. And Drew, you could say something for a second, because I got one more thought I want to throw out about that too.
Well, when you're push mowing a yard that's overgrown, depending on what height you're at, you can also raise your deck up a notch or two, cut it so it doesn't take as much of the grass off, and then if you choose or talk to your customer, you can also cut it again if you have the time and you're scheduled to cut it back at the normal height, or you just tell a customer, all right, this week it's a little bit higher. Next week we'll have to mow it maybe twice, or depending on whatever you and your customer decide to do. But that's how I've adjusted things, because I don't always have time to bag. So therefore it's either mulch or discharge, but normally it's mulch. But normally if you're there weekly like clockwork, or a little bit before, depending on the rain and how your schedule is, you can make it happen. still with the push mower. And there is good money in it. You just gotta know your worth and do your best job.
Well, certainly was not.
Yes, I do agree. And I was thinking, what I do sometimes, which is a no-no, if the grass is out of control and I know I'm going to have to rake it and it looks ugly, I'll just raise the deck a half of an inch. And hopefully they don't call. I won't tell them I'm doing it, and I'll just get it done. And if they should complain, well, then I'll just say, hey, sorry, it looked good to me. And I'm not going to tell them that I raised the deck a half of an inch because I want to get in and get out. I don't want to spend 45 extra minutes cleaning up to make it look pretty. But also, one other thing, I give you guys a quick suggestion, a secret in the game. Let's say, for instance, now these are houses that are by each other in the same general area. If you've got one that's a problem, like overgrowth, and you can't keep up with it, the sunshine is your friend. So go there, cut the grass, and then just let it sit for maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours, and go do another house or 2 or 3 houses that, as long as they're right by it, and then come back. You might have to explain to the customer that I'm letting the sun dry the grass to make it easier for me to hide it on you, because they might have thought you just cut the grass and boogied, and you're going to charge them. But once you explain to them, if they should question you, because a lot of times the customers aren't home when you go there, that makes it a lot more easier if you come back an hour or two later and the sun dries it up. I had a customer back in the day. I had a 36-inch Scag walk behind, and it did an okay job of cutting grass, but when it was thick and overgrown from too much chemical fertilizers on it, it just grew like wildfire.
Sure.
So I would cut that lawn, and I came back one evening, and I actually didn't do nothing, and it looked pretty bad. And it was like 5 or 6 hours later, and the lady called me, and when I came back to check it out, I just went back there with my blower, no lie, for like 2 minutes, and I was gone. It looked perfect. So the sun really, really does help you out. So go ahead, Drew. You got any other comments for tonight?
What I have found, which is not, you can take it or leave it, but if I'm going to an overgrown yard, most of the time I'll do my outline and everything. Sometimes I'll go cut the backyard, then I'll go cut the front yard. And depending on what the weather is and the sun, sometimes I'm able just to go right back there, cut it. And if I need to use the blower for a second or whatever, and then I get out to the next one. Not everybody has that luck, but generally 9 times out of 10, you're able to cut the back, do the front, and then, or if you have another one next door or another, or 3, whatever, you're able to do that, then go right back and it's done and take care of it. It looks great then.
Okay, which I do agree. I'll let you guys in on another secret. I don't want to tell all the secrets because there are no secrets. Like with the 36-inch or even the 21s, if the grass is a little bit too thick and it's not looking good, because I discharge all the lawns except for the recycler one back in the day, I just mulched it. Mm-hmm. If you do half passes, it's going to take longer. And if you slow down the speed just a tiny bit more, it's going to help you in the cleanup. So you might spend an extra 5 or 10 minutes cutting the grass with the mower, but I'd rather spend 5 or 10 minutes cutting the grass with the mower than spend an extra 20 minutes with a rake and blowing stuff and trying to hide it. So
absolutely,
it's just a little secret I really don't want to tell you guys because I'm giving you all the $1 million secrets, and pretty soon you guys will be, driving brand new Escalades HDs, and I'll be still driving my 2017 Chevy or my old 2004 half ton. It gets all the jobs done. So what you got? You got anything?
Well, I would say honestly to that, you just got to do good quality work, and you buy things what you can afford and what's best for your business. Don't overextend yourself, and you can make this a wonderful, work environment for yourself and for everything else and your customers as well.
Yes, I would truly recommend. And one big mistake I made in the grass cutting business is that I always, in the beginning, maybe for the first 10 years, I always forgot to pay myself. And when I mean pay myself, that's I'll put some money off to the side. I'll show you guys an envelope trick that I learned through the day with cash money off to the side. You don't have to put all your money in the bank. And that way you save X amount of dollars per month when you collect your bills get mailed back into you, the checks, you cash them. And then I would make an envelope to try to save for tires, $1,000. Mm-hmm. And then the smaller stuff like that. Maybe if I need a new backpack blower, I would try to save $500, save $100 a month towards it. And then in an emergency or in a pinch situation, if you needed to, which I try not to do, you could jump in that little bit of cash fund you got on hand to, if you should come across a good deal. Because I know I never come across good deals when I got money, but if I don't have no cash, I see all the deals in the world. And that's even true for me nowadays. So I tried talking to you guys about some credit and all that. So I'm just trying to learn everybody what I went through, and I'm not sure if you ever watched. I did ask you before, but if you watch Keith Kalfas, he
Yes,
gives an
sir.
excellent explanation, and
Mhm.
everything he's done wrong, I done wrong, and I always, like you said, I always felt guilty about charging the customer, and I never should have been like that because I could have been way, way ahead of the game. So, any thoughts on that, Drew? Because I'm going to get going in a couple minutes.
No, I think I covered everything. And like I said, I mean, if you got to charge a customer, so be it. I had some customers, I'll tell you this, that I had to raise them, due to gas prices and,
Yes.
everything else, it goes up and everything. And they were complaining over $5 a week. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, I'm sorry, but I said, if you find somebody cheaper, that's fine. But you always can call me back, and obviously then they'll pay the premium price. But hey,
So, anyways, but so I really didn't talk prices. Got to be realistic with yourself. I don't know. Every state is different what they're charging and what you could use to get in.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to make the job as easy as possible for you. I would say if you got a little push mower and that's all you got, a push mower and a weed whacker and your blower, and you go out to get it, I would say if you can make $40 to $50 an hour by yourself, I think you're doing pretty good. I'm not sure, you might get $50 or $60 in your area with that little machine. I'm not sure. And I would say if you got that little 36-inch walk behind, an older one,
Mhm.
I would say I would try to shoot for $50 to $60 an hour. And,
Absolutely.
And I would say with the little Z Master that I got, because I only take the gravy ones, the easy ones. You can get in and out. I don't take nobody with nothing stupid, no extra trimming or nothing around gardens or that. I want to try to keep it as simple as possible. I don't want a property that's got 10 trees that weren't mulched right. So every week you got to go because you can't put your mower on there because you scrape the mulch out. And I would say with that bigger mower, I was at 75 to 80. And this year I raised my prices and I probably got so far half the people responded back. Okay. I'm going to try to get $90 an hour. And is that being greedy? I would say no, because if you think about your gas prices, in my truck, it cost me $40 a day just for the truck. So I'm going to say I'm going to have to put $50 a day in gas in there. And then, my mower, I fill it every day and a half. It takes 6 gallons. And so, I'm going to realistically, I probably would spend, because I work 4 days a week, I would spend $160 for the truck, 3 fills on the mower. That's 60 more bucks. So that's $210, and then 2 gallons of 2-stroke. So I was spending about $220, and I can't see spending no less than $300 just on gas this year each week. So
I know it's crazy. It absolutely is,
and it could get worse. And I know customers are short on money. Everybody's short on everything, and so it's so tough. And I seen you did a video which I didn't watch. I'm gonna watch again tonight about you guys had a lawnmower sale somewhere for it was like a 2-minute quick video at one of the lawnmower shops by you. But honestly, Drew, there's nothing around here for sale. Nothing at all. Nothing new. And I got some, decent lawnmower shops that have been around for years, and it's really, really slim pickings. So my mower's going on 4 years old. My best mower's going on 4 years old this year, and I said I was going to keep it 2 years, and then last year I said, I'll squeeze 1 more year out of it because it's only got 600 hours on it, and so I'm going to go for 4 years now, and hopefully, I don't want to do no repairs, but I don't want to take out another big payment because I'm pretty much, I don't want to say I'm maxed out on nothing, but I just don't want no more bills.
Right.
Just want to get through the season. So that way, if the gas prices should get up to, $5 or $6, I can eat it a little bit, but if it does start hurting in the long run, these customers are my bread and butter customers. I just take all the easy ones.
Right.
Like I said, they pay. I don't have to chase them around for money. I'll eat it, but if it does start getting painful at maybe $6 a gallon or higher, we're gonna have to assess some kind of a small gas fee because everybody else is doing it. Because I don't want to say, skip it and cut it every 10 days. Can you cut it every 10 days? No, thank you. Ever cut it every 2 weeks?
No, it's so much harder on your equipment.
Oh yeah. I'm with the equipment wise it's true, but I just don't want to spend the extra time.
Right.
So just because in my opinion, time is money.
Right.
It might sound rude, but I tell people now when I talk to them, hey, if you want to talk, I'm going to have to charge you because I don't have the time. Or unless you got a cold drink in your hand, whether it be a Gatorade or your favorite adult beverage, I could stop and talk to you for a minute or two while we have it together, but I can't come here and conversate with you because, like I said, I learned from back in the day. I would waste an hour talking to people, and then I was working an extra hour at the end of the day.
Right. And I mean, I have a few other thoughts, but it's it wouldn't say it's too much into this live or whatever. It might be a video further down the road, I guess we'd have to talk about, but
I hear you. I just want guys to know that just do a good job and people will pay you. And if they start taking advantage of you, well, finish them off for the season and move on to the next. I do that especially with my snowplowing customers. I only take the people that don't complain at all. Any complaints, I finish you off. I do a good job, and I just don't give it back to you next year because I have, core customers. I call them customers. I just give them a contract, and they sign it back up, and then they don't complain. Complainers, I don't want to deal with because I've been through 4 major snow events in my life now, from 7 feet of snow plus, and I just, when I was first started out, the first 2 snow events, I was out there fighting Mother Nature tooth and nail, and out there. And the last snow event we had here that was major was number 4 for me. It was back in 2016. We got 7 feet of snow.
Oh,
and
wow.
Drew, I never seen it snow so hard in my life. I was plowing. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning, and the storm finally started rolling in there, lake effect snow. It was on the Weather Channel and everything. It was back in early November, and the contracts just started. I was like, oh, it's going to be a bad winter. So I was sitting under a bridge, that the thruway, the I-90, New York State Thruway. I was sitting under this bridge. No lie, Drew. And in 45 minutes, it snowed 5 inches. I never seen it snow so hard in my life.
Yeah.
And that was the first time ever I got scared. And I said, you know what? I said, this ain't worth it. I said, I got to get my truck. I got to get home somehow because cars are getting stuck everywhere whenever they stop at the stop signs to get out on the major roads. And I just got in my truck. I said, you know what? It's the first time ever I feared snow. And I said, hey, I'm not going to get stuck and die over worrying about plowing somebody's driveway. If they want to fire me, so be it. I'll give you your money back if you want because I'm not a ripoff artist.
Right.
I went home and I sat home for 3 days before the city was able to actually open up the streets because they had to use payloaders to pop the streets, and then the snowplows were able to get through. So for 3 days, not one of my customers called to complain. So it was amazing. But I answered my phone too. You got to answer your phone, like I said in the other video.
Absolutely. Every call, even if it's spam, then you just hang up. But yes, every call.
Yep, because if you can't tell them what they want to hear, they're going to call somebody else. So
absolutely.
That's the way I look at it. So
how many accounts are you running with this year?
I usually have about 55 weekly residentials.
Nice.
And about 40 snowplowing customers. But all the snowplowing are right next to each other. So I get them done in 3 hours with like 4 inches or under.
Yeah.
And then as it gets deeper, you got to add time to it. 6 inches takes me 4 hours to go one round. And then more than 6 to 12 inches, I could probably do in 5 or 6 hours, one round and then start over. And then with my grass cutting customers, I use all my Z Master and that 48 inch. I should say my Toro, the 48 inch. And I could get them done by myself in anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. So I basically work part-time doing it. I start Monday morning. By the time I get to the first house, it's about 8:30. A couple minutes later, if it's very early spring, closer to 9, and I work till 3. And at 3 o'clock, wherever I leave off, I'm done. So
sure,
I try to hustle hard on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I hustle, and Thursday, my sister will come with me and help out, a family member. And she just does blowing for me because she really don't know nothing about it. And it's cool. You can't tell your sister no, not to help you out. You don't want the family mad at you. And I usually finish up halfway through Thursday afternoon, in the middle of the day. And that's the way I do it. And then if I get any jobs, which I don't get many mulch jobs, I do 4 or 5 mulch jobs for customers that I had for years. And I try doing them, like say, the second week of May I started. I'm going to finish up by the beginning of June. And right there's an extra $3,000 to $4,000 of extra money that I didn't have, and I just start taking it easy after that.
See, that's the beautiful thing about it is, on Friday you can do all your mower maintenance, and then you're ready to go again Monday morning to get going.
Yeah. And then if I do come across a job, say is doing like some seed work or some sod work of soil, I schedule for Friday, Saturday. If for some reason we get rain, in a pinch, I have to, because you got to get the job done. You're the boss. I'll finish it up on Sunday. And if I had to, if it took 4 days, I'd even, skip Monday and push Monday back and then, just follow it through. because everybody wants to get their grass cut on Friday,
Right.
but unfortunately, I can't do that no more. So if people want special, requests or special prices like it, I could see once in a while. Like if somebody's going to have like a reception at their house, like before a wedding or something,
Sure.
I'll go there like, Thursday night, the last cut of the day, and get them done so it looks nice for Friday or Saturday. But I don't go out of my way anymore because people don't remember the good things you do for them the first time you screw up. That's all they remember. So
Right.
I found that out the hard way, and so,
or when a customer asks you, can you do this, this, and this? And it's just all about, kind of prioritizing, like, I can do something, one or two things if it's, a couple minutes here or there. But if it's after that, then it's going to have to be a separate charge for something else,
Oh yeah. Yep. I truly agree. Like if it's going to take, like you said, a couple, 5 minutes or less, I'll do it for you. But other than that, I tell the people I'm not the paper boy. I'll come back next week and I don't bring no extra equipment with me. So that way I'm not lying them. I say, hey, I'm sorry, I don't got my hedge trimmers, but you know what? I can come back Saturday and do it, but it's extra. It's not part of the gig.
Right.
And most of the time they understand, you do got some people that want to pull a fast one and think that everything's included for that price. But those are the customers that in the future that you weed out. But like I said, all my stuff's been pretty good. And then I used to cut grass 6 days a week in the beginning. And employees, it was just terrible. It was just chasing, spinning tires. You weren't, you were cutting in the rain with it drizzling because you had no time. You had to keep going because the grass was growing like crazy.
I could just see, a stress as a business owner, making sure that, every week or every other week, you have their paycheck, to feed their family and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a lot of heartache.
Yeah, I do agree. I'm gonna tell you a little thing that's actually embarrassing, but it's actually funny at the same time. My wife, she loves to play any casino games.
Mm-hmm.
She likes betting. So back in the day, I used to take my wife. We would pay the guys on Friday night because I wanted them to come to work on Monday.
Sure.
And I'd take my wife and go Friday night. She'd actually play blackjack, and a couple of the nights she would actually make the pay for the guys for the following week. So
right.
It was embarrassing, but that also falls back to the time where I forgot to pay myself.
Right.
But that's all. That's my fault. I'm not saying it's nobody else's fault. I made the problem. I didn't charge enough. I should have charged a lot more. But you know what? I was just trying to be the nice guy. And back in the day, I was scared to hear somebody say, "Oh nope, that's too much." Or no, I don't do it. The way I looked at it back then was, if I came to your house for an estimate, I wanted to seal that job right there, no matter how much money I didn't make. I just wanted to get the job because I didn't want to hear the rejection, which was bad on my part. So
yeah. I've already got two. I have not heard yet. I did two quotes for new yards. I told my price, my new price, and new customers haven't heard from them yet. So, hey, if you found somebody cheaper, then it is what it is. Or if they're just waiting, whatever.
Yeah. I got a lot of people that'll drag their feet too. And what I just do is I just show up and I cut the grass. And if they say something to me, hey, I'm not using you this year, then I say, okay, thank you, have a nice day. Or I just keep going and I send them a bill. I just take a chance on that. And like I said, most people I deal with, I had for years, many, many years. And I don't do no advertising. I don't do no Facebook advertising. I don't put no flyers out nowhere. I hate giving estimates because I think giving estimates is a waste of time. Because a lot of times you don't get, especially for landscaping, people will pick their brain. About the only pet peeve I could say that I got about the businesses is cutting their grass. And once in a while you'll show up and you'll be like, who the hell put all this new mulch down and trim the bushes?
Right.
So I'll knock on the door. I'm like, hey, Mrs. Smith, that looks pretty nice. Did your grandson come do it? She'd be like, oh, I called this guy. And I'd be like, oh my God, this guy charges 4 or 5 times what I would have charged to do the job. And she gave him the job. So that's the only pet peeve I get once in a while. But other than that, hey, it's their money. They could do what they want, use whoever they want to use. So
absolutely.
It's pretty interesting. But yeah, I had a lot of fun on your chat. I was talking to another friend that does a lot of YouTubing, and he said next time, because on my end of the chat there was a lot of back feed, he said get some earplugs and put them on so it'll cut away all the chat. And then you had 2 friends in the video, and they just kept talking the whole time. They didn't stop talking at all. I can't think of what their names were. There was a guy sitting like he was sitting in a blue room with his glasses on.
Well, there'll be some new rules, I think, going to be in place,
That's funny as hell. They didn't stop talking at all. So I was like, so somebody texted her, or somebody put in the comments, he's talking over. I'm like, well, Sorry, I'm
Right.
just here to have fun too, you know. So,
Right.
but I
right.
did appreciate it that you had me come on. It was pretty cool, and now I learned something new how to put that StreamYard on. And I thought maybe there's some friends jump in tonight, but nobody loves me tonight. I missed Brian's last night. Brian was on. I didn't
was he?
jump on it though. He was on for a while, actually, like an hour and a half.
Oh wow.
I didn't get on, you know, so I was pretty much just YouTubed out. It was crap here all weekend. I didn't do nothing. So like I said, same even today. It's still cold and a little bit of snow, and the wind's been pretty nippy. So, well, you got anything else to say? Because I'm going to get wrapping it up.
No, I think I'm good. I'm going to go have dinner here, and maybe I'll do my own live. We'll see.
That'd be cool. Excellent. That sounds great. Well, Drew, thank you for coming on. Thank you for anybody watching. If anybody's got any comments, questions, or suggestions, leave them down below. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you because there are no secrets in the game. The sooner we all figure it out, there's no secrets, the better off we'll all be because there's plenty of work out there for everybody. So don't be afraid to say hi to your local landscaper because he might be able to help you out in a pinch maybe, or you could help him out. So, Drew, I'm going to take off. I'll see if you're on later, and if not, I'll catch you on the live stream next time.
All right. Peace.
Thank you so much. Have a nice night. Bye-bye.
Take care.